Salut mon pote, comment ça va? C'est le chapitre numéro 5 de cette unité d'introduction. This is going to be the last chapter of our introduction unit. Alright? Welcome for making it so far. I hope you have watched all the chapters. This is going to be once again, I think, a short one. I just want today to show you the last politeness things to say that we haven't seen yet. How to say like thank you, please, etc. This kind of very, very basic and very important vocabulary. Because there's not too much things to see today, I use this also as an opportunity to recap what we've seen in the previous chapter until now. And at the end, I will give you a movie recommendation, a French movie recommendation to watch at home, maybe this weekend or whenever you want. Ok? C'est parti. On va commencer tout de suite par regarder une vidéo. So let's start by watching this video. I don't give you any instruction, just, sit down comfortably and let's watch this together.
Bonjour madame.
Bonjour madame, vous désirez?
Je voudrais une flûte, s'il vous plaît.
Voilà. Et avec ceci?
Je vais prendre un croissant au beurre et 2 chocolatines, s'il vous plaît.
Voici. Ce sera tout?
Non, vous avez des tartes?
Citron meringué ou abricot?
Une tarte au citron meringuée, s'il vous plaît.
Voilà. Autre chose?
Je voudrais un millefeuille.
Voilà. Ce sera tout?
Oui, c'est combien?
29,60 €.
29,60 €. Par carte. Voilà.
Merci. Voilà. Votre code, s'il vous plaît?
Voilà.
Merci. Et voici.
Merci
Madame.
beaucoup. Au revoir, à bientôt.
Au revoir et bonne journée.
Ça va? I think it's quite easy, right? Obviously, you don't understand every single word, okay? But I think you can really understand basically the situation. So we have 2 women, okay? This woman, we will call her la cliente because she is a client. She's coming in the store to buy something. And this woman, sorry for the the picture is not so good. We will call her la boulangère. La boulangère. In France, une boulangerie is a bakery et une boulangère is a woman working in a bakery. So here, that's her role. I think you get it. The point of this video, at least for today, and for me, is to focus on politeness and all of these little words that French people use to be polite in their everyday life. I know for a fact because when I was traveling and working in foreign countries, etc., I know that for some people from other countries, it seems very strange how much in France we use this kind of small words of politeness. We use them all the time. You might feel like in this video, for example, it's exaggerated, but I promise it's not exaggerated. Sometimes that's unbelievable how many times we say please, please, please again and again in every sentence, etc., etc. So for now, what I would like you to do is to take a look at all these words that are here. I will not read them for you. You can even pause the video if you want and take a look at them. Then we're going to watch the video one more time, and each of these words I want you to identify, is it said by la cliente or is it said by la boulangère. Alright, so maybe you just pause the video, on your notebook you do 2 columns and you write down the words on the left for the client and on the right for la boulangère. That's it, very simple exercise. Some of these words, they appear twice, like this one, huh? It's twice, this one also, this one also. It's normal, these are words that are maybe being said more than once or by the 2 different persons. C'est parti, on regarde à nouveau.
Bonjour madame.
Bonjour madame, vous désirez?
Je voudrais une flûte, s'il vous plaît.
Voilà. Et avec ceci?
Je vais prendre un croissant au beurre et 2 chocolatines, s'il vous plaît.
Voici. Ce sera tout?
Non, vous avez des tartes?
Citron meringué ou abricot?
Une tarte au citron meringuée, s'il vous plaît.
Voilà. Autre chose?
Je voudrais un millefeuille.
Voilà. Ce sera tout?
Oui, c'est combien?
29,60 €.
29,60 €. Par carte.
Merci. Voilà. Votre code, s'il vous plaît?
Voilà.
Merci. Et voici.
Merci
Madame.
beaucoup. Au revoir, à bientôt.
Au revoir et bonne journée.
Ça va? If you want, obviously you can pause the video in between to take the time to write down the words. And if you want, you can go back in the video to watch it one more time. If it's okay, then here you go. Here's the solution. I think it's very easy because you have the subtitles for today, so that's not a difficult exercise. The purpose of the exercise is more for you to get familiar with these words and this pronunciation. Now, what I would like you to do is to watch it one more time. And here on the right, I have put the usual English equivalent of these expressions. Some of them you know already because we have seen them in chapter 2. For example, I think you know that bonjour means hello, au revoir means bye, right? Like you know this because we've seen it before. For the rest, let's watch the video one more time and I want you to identify and to link each French expression to the English counterpart, okay? Keep in mind that these expressions, they cannot be translated literally word by word, okay? What's on the right here, it's not the translation, it's just the equivalent, like the usual equivalent in English.
Bonjour madame.
Bonjour madame, vous désirez?
Je voudrais une flûte, s'il vous plaît.
Voilà. Et avec ceci?
Je vais prendre un croissant au beurre et 2 chocolatines, s'il vous plaît.
Voici. Ce sera tout?
Non, vous avez des tartes?
Citron meringué ou abricot?
Une tarte au citron meringuée, s'il vous plaît.
Voilà. Autre chose?
Je voudrais un millefeuille.
Voilà. Ce sera tout?
Oui, c'est combien?
29,60 €.
29,60 €. Par carte.
Merci. Voilà. Votre code, s'il vous plaît?
Voilà.
Merci. Et voici.
Merci
Madame.
beaucoup. Au revoir, à bientôt.
Au revoir et bonne journée.
Ça va? Allez, again, if you need, you can watch it again. Go back in the video and watch it. But to be fair, I think it's very easy. So, here we go. Let's watch the video one last time. I think you start to be a bit tired or a bit bored maybe by the video. Let's watch it one last time, but together this time. I will comment it.
Bonjour madame.
Ok, bonjour madame, ça va? Bonjour, like we mentioned in the previous chapter, bonjour is the most generic way in France to say hello to someone. Madame, it's like the woman, okay? Bonjour madame, bonjour madame.
Bonjour madame, vous désirez?
Je voudrais une flûte, s'il vous plaît.
So here she explains what she would like. In the video here, they don't call it a baguette, they call it une flûte, alright? If you ask me, they could say a baguette. It's honestly, there's not much difference between. It's like different specificities of bread, but you can consider she buys a baguette. What I'm interested in here is not what she's buying. It's the fact that she says, s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît is the most generic, most common way to say please. Okay? And as you will see in the video, she doesn't hesitate to repeat it again and again and again. Please, 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 which is very common in France. Sometimes in this kind of interaction with people that we don't know, it's almost like we consider that if you don't say please for every individual single item that you buy, then it will be considered a bit impolite. Okay?
Voilà. Et avec ceci?
Je vais prendre un croissant au beurre.
So now she asks un croissant et 2 chocolatines. So she buys some pastries.
Et 2 chocolatines, s'il vous plaît.
Again, she says, s'il vous plaît. One more time, she adds it.
Voici. Ce sera tout?
Non, vous avez des tartes?
Citron meringué ou abricot?
So now she's looking to buy some other desserts.
Une tarte au citron meringuée, s'il vous plaît.
Again, s'il vous plaît. She buys a new item, s'il vous plaît. I said it before, but I repeat. To me, honestly, this is not exaggerated. Like, this is literally how most interaction sounds like in the daily life. That's why I think you can understand, that's why I highlight it so much. It's because really for some people, it's not natural to add so much politeness like this in the interactions. But in France, it's normal to do this.
Là. Autre chose?
Je voudrais un millefeuille.
Voilà. Ce sera tout?
Oui, c'est combien?
29,60 €.
29,60 €. This one, you can read it yourself. Hein? We've learned this before.
29,60 €. Par carte. Voilà.
Merci.
Merci, she says. Donc, merci is the most common, the most generic way to say thank you. Merci is our daily life equivalent of thank you. So, merci.
Voilà. Votre code, s'il vous plaît?
So she asks the woman to type her code on the machine. She says again, s'il vous plaît.
Voilà.
Merci.
Now, again, she says merci, just because the woman hand over the machine back to her after putting her code. She says merci again because she gets something. So you see, we just add up for every single interaction, we add up these politeness words.
Et voici.
Merci
Madame.
beaucoup.
Now, for some reason, she decided to change it a bit, and instead of simply saying merci, she says merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Don't be fooled by the final P, you don't hear it. This one. E, A, U sounds like a mess, but actually it's pronounced. All of this just like the letter O. So, beaucoup. Very easy. Merci beaucoup is our way, very simple and generic way, to add an extra politeness to the regular merci. So it becomes the French equivalent of thank you very much in English. Like in English, you could say thank you or oh, thank you very much. Then here, merci, merci beaucoup. Okay?
Au revoir, à bientôt.
Now she says, au revoir, à bientôt. We've seen the two of them.
Au revoir et bonne journée.
Au revoir et bonne journée. So, what does this mean? Like we talked about before, au revoir is the generic way to say bye. That's why both of them, la cliente et la boulangère, both women, they say au revoir to each other. But they decide to be more to be nicer and more friendly to each other. They decide to add more words. So the client, she says, à bientôt, which is another way to say goodbye, but which implies that you will see each other again one of these days. So it's something like, okay, bye-bye, see you again. Okay, à bientôt. Not necessarily today, but maybe this week or next week, we will probably see each other again. So if she says à bientôt, I can imagine that she's a regular customer of the bakery. And the other woman answered with bonne journée, which is the equivalent of have a nice day. Bonne journée is like I wish you a nice day. So it's also another way to say goodbye, but adding a bit more friendliness to it. Ça va? And very funny, if you see at the end, you almost don't hear it, but she says au revoir one more time, just to show you how polite people can be in this kind of interaction. Au revoir, like this. Okay, très bien. Here's the summary of everything we've seen so far. So you can pause the video here if you want. Let's review the pronunciation one more time. Bonjour. Bonjour. S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. Merci. Merci. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. Au revoir. À bientôt. À bientôt. Bonne journée. Bonne journée. Ça va? Très bien. Do you recognize something here? You can recognize the word vous. If you remember, I told you before that we use vous to refer to you as a group of persons, or when we use vous to talk to only one person, it means that I'm using a form of formal speech to be extra polite. What does this mean? It means that there is also an informal way to say please, which is s'il te plaît. Alright? We find here the same distinction between formal speech and informal speech that we've seen so much in the chapter number 2 on how to introduce yourself. Donc, s'il vous plaît is please when I'm having an interaction with someone I don't know, like a stranger, like in a restaurant, for example, ordering something to the waiter. If you're talking to the waiter in the restaurant, in the cafe, etc., you must say s'il vous plaît. If you go straight away for informal speech, it can be considered rude and impolite. But if you're talking to your friends or if you're talking to someone, you know, maybe someone you don't know, but like another student in university, these kind of things, like a classmate or this kind of stuff, then you can use the informal speech. S'il te plaît. S'il te plaît. If you are unsure on which one to use, but you have to decide to use one by default, then I think you should go by default for s'il vous plaît, because the worst thing that can happen is that if you use s'il vous plaît out of context, maybe it will sound too formal. If it sounds too formal, then people will laugh a bit, but it's kind of cute and kind of fun at the same time, and they will tell you, oh, don't worry, no need to be so formal, you can tell me s'il te plaît. And then that's it, end of the interaction. But on the other way, if you say s'il te plaît, then the risk is to be too informal. And in this context, some people, maybe like in Paris, for example, where people are not always in the best mood and a lot of people are a bit stressed and rude, then people can really take it the wrong way and think that you are being disrespectful to them, okay? So if you don't know which one to use, but you have to choose one, you should go for s'il vous plaît. Très bien. That's it. Actually, that's it. That's what I wanted to show you for today. So let's do a quick recap of what we have seen in this Unité 0. To remind you, this Unité 0 is really the introduction of the course. We haven't done any kind of proper grammar lesson. We haven't studied any kind of proper document or anything, okay? That's just an introduction with the most basic vocabulary and the first bricks that you will need for the future. That's also a way for you to see if you like these videos and if you want to go further into the deeper lessons that we will start in Unité 1. So what did we see in this Unité 0? For each slide, I want you to think for 2 seconds and make sure that, okay, right, we've seen this, I've took some note in my notebooks maybe, I'm okay with that, I've done the homework, I know what he's talking about, there's no mystery here, I can move on, okay? So, we have seen the alphabet, the consonants and the vowels. This is the letter alphabet, and we have seen the phonetic alphabet as well. We didn't study it in any way, but I have introduced you to why do we use a phonetic alphabet and to the different sounds in French, especially the ones that will be a bit tricky in the future. For example, I know you don't have any issue to say I or ou because that's very easy. But when we will talk about the difference between e, then obviously it will be more tricky. And also when we will study the difference between en, un. Some people, depending on where you come from, might think that I'm doing the same sound, en, un, but these are really 3 different sounds. Here for the consonants of the phonetic alphabet, so they go they go together. We have seen the whole chapter on how to introduce yourself, the difference between the informal speech using the pronom personnel tu, like s'il te plaît, okay, and the formal speech when using the pronom personnel vous, like s'il vous plaît. By the way, be careful, the way to say please in the informal way, it's not s'il tu plaît. It's really s'il te plaît. Don't ask me why, just consider it to be a fixed idiom, okay, a fixed expression. S'il te plaît, that's the way and that's it, okay? We have also seen the 2 most important verbs in French. Le verbe être, to be something, et le verbe avoir, to have something. Okay? These 2 verbs, you have no choice. I mean, by now you should know them by heart. Okay? Like that's it. That's all there is to it. There's no no, yeah, but maybe little by little. No, there's no little by little. You should, just repeat them again and again in your mind. I want you to be learning them by heart, okay? Because part of the conjugation will be like this. We have seen informal and formal dialogues in chapter 2, reviewing how to say your name, how to say your age, how to say your nationality, how to say hello, goodbye, etc. I don't review the dialogues. We spent a lot of time on them in chapter 2. If you feel the need to, you can go back to them, okay? So you have done your own introduction like this, saying your name, your nationality, and your age. I have explained to you just the basic principle of liaison. So how we like to link different words in French, like nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, ok? Par exemple, 2 euros, 2 euros. We have seen the numbers from 1 to 69. In Unit 1, we're going to see the upper numbers, okay? You should be comfortable with them. We will practice them again and again and again because I know that it's a difficult topic. We have talked about the days of the weeks, the months and the seasons. All of these are vocabulary that you should... It's okay if you still do a bit of mistakes, like maybe you mistake jeudi et mardi, that's okay, don't worry about this, but at least you should know the words, you should have started to learn them, okay? Same thing for the months and the seasons, alright? Comment dire la date, how to say the date. Don't forget that in French we go from the smaller unit to the bigger unit, so jour, date, mois, année. And that's it. That is what we've seen in this unit. The unit is not over yet. The homeworks of this chapter 5 are a bit special. There will be a lot of homework, I think 5 or 6 exercises, and you can consider them to be like the final exam of this unit. So, if you want to do them seriously, I would really like you to take a look at the PDF file of the homeworks and really do the exercises without any kind of help. Why am I saying this? Because in the homework video, we will review the solutions and on top of this, I will give you a grade. So depending on the exercises, each exercise will be marked, will have a grade, and so you will know what is your grade, what is your score for this whole unit. So please do this seriously. Then the next chapter, well, we will start Unité 1. So the next chapter will be Unité 1, chapitre 1. Like I was saying, we will now start proper documents, grammar lessons, etc., etc. So I hope you are ready for it. And to finish this one, I would like to give you a movie recommendation. That's my cultural advice of today. So I want to recommend you a great French movie that came out in 1966, so 1966, called Un homme et une femme, a man and a woman. I think when it came out, it got the prize at the Cannes Festival. It's a very, very famous movie, very classic movie in France, okay? So I would really recommend you to watch it. How to watch it? I want to show you a little trick. So below this video, in the course, I have put, so now here I'm showing you the course, right? Below I have put a link to access a Google Drive folder that I've created with some French movies. Obviously, that's a bit borderline, so I'm counting on you to keep the secret, okay? And in here, you have French movies with English subtitles and different subtitles, okay? So if you don't know how to access the movie, you can just go to this folder and download the folder of the movie with the subtitles to watch it at home. I have put also a master list of the different movies, and with time I will try to put more and more movies here. Ok? Très bien. That's it. That's it for today. I leave you with the trailer of the movie. Maybe it will motivate you to watch it. If you watch this video on YouTube, it's highly possible that the trailer is cut for copyright issue. So in this case, I tell you, bye-bye. I'm counting on you for the homework. I see you very soon for the homework video. Please do them seriously. Donc je te dis, à bientôt mon pote. Travaille bien. Ciao.
Dans la vie, quand une chose n'est pas sérieuse, on dit c'est du cinéma. Pourquoi vous pensez qu'on ne prend pas le cinéma au sérieux?
Je ne sais pas, moi. Peut-être parce qu'on y va que quand tout va bien.
Alors vous pensez qu'on devrait y aller quand tout va mal?
Pourquoi pas?
C'est beau quand même d'envoyer un télégramme comme ça, il faut avoir du culot. C'est vrai, non, c'est extraordinaire qu'une femme belle vous envoie un télégramme comme ça, c'est merveilleux. Quel courage.